What happens when a career politician finally says the quiet part out loud? The House Judiciary Committee hearing room. C-SPAN cameras roll. The timestamp reads 2:47 p.m. Every seat is filled. Press photographers lean against the back wall, lenses aimed forward like weapons. Pam Bondi sits at the witness table. Blonde bob is perfectly styled. Navy power suit. Hands folded on the table like she's done this 1,000 times before. Because she has. Across from her, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett stands at her microphone. Her jaw is set. Her eyes are locked on Bondi like a laser sight. The room is suffocating. You can hear paper shuffling. Someone coughs. A staffer drops a pen and the sound echoes. Crockett's voice cuts through the silence. Ms. Bondi, I'll ask you one more time. When you use phrases like, our neighborhoods and real Americans, who exactly are you referring to? Bondi's smile is practiced. Political. Empty. Congresswoman, I think you're twisting I'm not twisting anything. I'm asking you to define your terms. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Bondi shifts in her seat. Her fingers grip the table edge. Look, some people seem more interested in defending illegal immigrants than defending American citizens. Maybe if you spent less time on identity politics. Someone in the gallery gasps. Crockett goes very still. Identity politics? Yes. Maybe if you don't like how we do things here, you should go back to your country. 3 seconds of absolute silence. The chairman's mouth falls open. A Republican colleague drops his head into his hands. Cameras click like machine guns. Jasmine Crockett smiles. Not a happy smile. A dangerous one. She lets the silence stretch. 5 seconds. 10. Bondi's face drains of color. She realizes what she just said. I didn't mean... Crockett raises one hand. No, Ms. Bondi. You meant it. And now, let me tell you about my country. Camera pushes in tight on Crockett's face. What happens next will end a career and birth a movement. Stay with us. Rewind 8 hours. Capitol Hill before dawn. The building is quiet except for security guards and obsessive staffers. In her office, Jasmine Crockett sits at her desk surrounded by printouts and highlighted transcripts. Pam Bondi's face stares back from a dozen. Fox News screenshots. Crockett's chief of staff leans against the doorframe. You ready for this? Crockett doesn't look up. I've been ready my whole life. She's 42. Civil rights attorney turned freshman congresswoman from Texas. She's made a name for herself in just 18 months. Sharp questions. Zero tolerance for double talk. Viral moments that make cable news producers salivate. But this is different. Pam Bondi isn't some bumbling appointee. She's a former Florida Attorney General, Trump loyalist, media-trained professional who's testified before Congress dozens of times. She knows every trick, every deflection, every way to run out the clock on hostile questioning. For weeks, Bondi has been making the rounds. Podcasts, cable hits, radio shows, pushing hardline immigration rhetoric that walks right up to the line of outright racism, without technically crossing it, invading our neighborhoods, changing the character of American cities, people who don't share our values, dog whistles, every single one. Crockett has been collecting receipts. Cut to the hearing room. 9 a.m. The space fills slowly. Committee members take their seats. Staffers arrange water pitchers and microphones. The press gallery fills first. They smell blood in the water. Bondi enters at 9:15, flanked by 2 lawyers and a communications handler. She's smiling, shaking hands, playing the room like she owns it. Crockett enters at 9:20, no entourage, just her notebook and a bottle of water. Their eyes meet across the room. Bondi sees another ambitious woman politician. Crockett sees a gatekeeper of oppression wrapped in false patriotism. The chairman gavels the session to order. We'll proceed with standard 5-minute questioning. Rounds, 3 hours of testimony. Republicans lob softballs. Democrats probe harder, but Bondi deflects with practiced ease. She's comfortable, in control. Then the chairman nods to Crockett. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Texas. Crockett stands, adjusts her microphone. The room doesn't know it yet, but everything is about to change. You won't believe what happens next. Keep watching. Crockett's voice is calm, almost cordial. Ms. Bondi, Thank you for being here today, Bondi nods. Still comfortable. Happy to answer your questions, Congresswoman. I appreciate that. I want to reference your recent appearance on Fox News. You described immigrants as invading our neighborhoods. Can you elaborate on that language choice? Bondi's smile doesn't fade. Well, Congresswoman, I think if you listen to the full context, I did. I listened to all 32 minutes. That's why I'm asking. First crack in the facade. Bondi's smile tightens. I was speaking about illegal immigration and the strain on public resources. Right. And you also said these immigrants are changing the character of American cities, making them, quote, unrecognizable. Can you define what you mean by character? Bondi shifts slightly in her seat. I'm talking about crime rates, public safety. That's what American citizens care about. She emphasizes American citizens just slightly. Subtle. But Crockett catches it. Interesting word choice. Because the data shows that immigrants, including undocumented immigrants, commit crimes at lower rates than native-born citizens. So when you say American citizens, who are you talking about? Because last I checked, I'm an American citizen. My constituents are American citizens. Are we included in your definition? The room shifts. That collective intake of breath, Bondi's jaw tightens. Of course, Congresswoman. I didn't mean to suggest. You didn't mean what? Silence. Because I've noticed a pattern, Ms. Bondi, in your interviews, your speeches, our country, real Americans, people like us. Who is us? Bondi's lawyer whispers something in her ear. She waves him off. Congresswoman, I've dedicated my entire career to serving this country. So have I. So have millions of immigrants. So have Black Americans for 400 years, most of them in chains. But somehow, we're always the ones whose loyalty gets questioned. Aren't we? Bondi's face flushes. I find it offensive that you're suggesting I'm racist. Crockett's eyebrows rise. I never use that word. Interesting, that's where your mind went. Murmurs ripple through the gallery. A Republican committee member looks uncomfortable. Bondi tries to recover. You're twisting my words. You people always... She stops. The room freezes. Crockett leans forward. You people? Finish that sentence, Ms. Bondi. You people always what? Camera cuts show Bondi's fingers gripping the table. Her prepared notes sit untouched. This isn't going according to plan. The chairman shifts in his seat, but doesn't intervene. Crockett's voice drops lower. Take your time. Ms. Bondi, we're all listening. Don't go anywhere. This is about to explode. Bondi's ego takes over. She's been in politics too long. Gotten away with coded language too many times. I'm just saying, Congresswoman, that some people seem more interested in defending illegal immigrants than defending American citizens. Her voice rises. Maybe? If you spent less time on identity politics and more time on real issues that affect real people. Someone in the gallery gasps audibly. A staffer drops a pen. Crockett goes completely still. Real issues? Her voice is ice. Let me tell you about real issues, Ms. Bondi. I'm a civil rights attorney. I've defended people who were racially profiled, falsely arrested, wrongfully convicted. I've seen what happens when people in power decide who's really American and who isn't. She doesn't raise her voice, doesn't need to. Each word lands like a hammer. You want to talk about defending American citizens? I defend them every day. But apparently, in your view, some citizens are more American than others. Some of us need to constantly prove our loyalty. Some of us are always suspect. Bondi tries to interrupt. That's not what Some of us, Crockett continues, voice gaining power, get told we're playing identity politics when we point out discrimination, when we ask for equal treatment, when we demand the same respect you take for granted. The room is leaning forward now. Every camera locked on Crockett. Bondi's face is red, flustered, feeling cornered and intellectually outmatched. Her handler is shaking his head frantically. Don't engage. Don't escalate. But Bondi can't help herself. She leans into her microphone. Maybe if you don't like how we do things here, you should go back to your country. 3 seconds. The words hang in the air like smoke after a gunshot. The chairman's mouth falls open. Republican colleague literally drops his head into his hands. Press cameras click rapid fire. Shudder after shudder after shudder. Bondi realizes what she just said. Her face goes pale. I meant, But Jasmine Crockett is smiling. Not a happy smile. A smile that says, "You just gave me everything I need." She lets the silence stretch. 5 seconds. 10. 15. The entire room is frozen, waiting. Bondi is stammering now. "Congresswoman, I apologize. That came out wrong." Crockett raises one hand. The stammering stops. "No. Ms. Bondi." Her voice is perfectly controlled. "You meant it." Camera pushes in tight on her face. "And now, let me tell you about my country." The room holds its breath. My country is the one my ancestors built. Literally built. With their enslaved hands. My country is the one my grandmother couldn't vote in until she was 45 years old. My country is the one where my father had to use separate water fountains. Her voice doesn't waver. This isn't rehearsed. This is from somewhere deeper. My country is the one that told my people to go back to Africa for 200 years while simultaneously stealing our labor, our culture, our bodies, our children. Behind her, colleagues are nodding. Even some Republicans look uncomfortable, not with Crockett, but with Bondi. My country is the one where people who look like me have been told we don't belong in every generation, by people who look like you. Bondi is shrinking in her seat. Her lawyer is whispering urgently. She tries again. "Congresswoman, I sincerely apologize, but Crockett is a freight train now, and she's just getting started. This is the moment that changes everything. Stay right here. And you know what's beautiful about my country, Ms. Bondi." Crockett's voice fills the room. It's that despite everything, despite the racism, despite the discrimination, despite people like you telling us we don't belong, we still believe in it. Camera stays locked on her face. No notes, no script, pure conviction. We still fight for it. We still serve in its military at higher rates than almost any other group. We still vote. We still build businesses and raise families and pay taxes and contribute. The press gallery is a blur of motion. Phones out, fingers flying across keyboards. "I don't need to go back anywhere, Ms. Bondi. I'm already home." She pauses. "Lets that sink in. My DNA is in the soil of this nation. My ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears are in every brick of every building in Washington, D.C. Can you say the same?" Bondi won't make eye contact, staring at the table. "Because last I checked, your family came from Europe. You're an immigrant descendant just like the people you're demonizing on Fox News every week. The twist of the knife. The only difference? You gotta be white." The gallery erupts. Not in sound. They're professionals. But in energy. The air itself feels electric. A staffer in the back is openly crying. The chairman looks shell-shocked. "So no, Ms. Bondi, I won't go back to my country. Because this is my country. It was my country before you decided it was yours to defend. And it will be my country long after people forget your name." She straightens her papers. Which, given today's performance, should be pretty soon. Beat of silence. My time has expired. Jasmine Crockett sits down. Stone silence. Then, from the back of the gallery, one person starts clapping. Then another. Then a dozen. The chairman doesn't gavel them down. He looks too stunned. Bondi is staring at the table, face flushed deep red with humiliation. Her handler has his head in his hands. Her lawyer is frantically scribbling notes for damage control that will never come. Republican members are looking anywhere but at her Democratic members are trying not to smile. The cameras have what they came for. Career just ended on live television, and everyone in the room knows it. Camera pulls back slowly. Wide shot of the entire hearing room. Bondi hasn't moved, hasn't looked up. Crockett is calmly reviewing her notes for the next round of questioning, as if she didn't just deliver the most devastating 5-minute takedown in congressional history. If this was just another Tuesday, the chairman finally finds his voice. We'll take a 10-minute recess. The gavel comes down, but nobody moves. Comment below. Was this justified? Keep watching to see what happened next. The hearing room empties slowly, like people leaving a church after shocking news. Bondi is escorted out by her team. She doesn't make eye contact with anyone. Her phone is already buzzing. Probably her publicist. Probably bad news. The press corps sprints for the exits. Filing deadlines wait for no one. Within 7 minutes, the clip is on Twitter. Within 20 minutes, it has 1 million views. By evening, $50 million. Cut to cable news that night. MSNBC leads with it. The Chiron reads, Congresswoman's viral takedown. The host's voice is reverent. We're watching a clip that's already been viewed tens of millions of times. And folks, we need to show you the whole thing because context matters here. They play it unedited. All 5 minutes. When it ends, the panel sits in silence for 3 full seconds. That, one panelist says quietly, is what moral clarity sounds like. CNN brings in legal analysts. The phrase, go back to your country, is textbook workplace harassment language. It's been cited in hundreds of discrimination cases. For a former attorney general to use it in a congressional hearing is, I'm actually speechless. Even Fox News looks uncomfortable. They try to defend Bondi. She was taken out of context. The Congresswoman was badgering her, but their hosts' faces tell a different story. This is indefensible. Social media explodes like a supernova. Go back to your country trends worldwide, but not as support for Bondi, as outrage at her words. Jasmine Crockett trends alongside Dodge Pam Bondi resign. Celebrities weigh in. Civil rights leaders praise Crockett. Immigrant advocacy groups share the video with messages of solidarity. The memes come fast. Bondi's shocked face becomes the new symbol of exposed racism meeting consequences. Within 24 hours, Bondi releases a statement. If my words caused offense, that was not my intention. I have dedicated my life to public service and respect for all Americans. A non-apology apology. Too little. Too late. 3 organizations call for her resignation by end of day. A major law firm she consulted for quietly ends her contract. A university cancels her scheduled speaking engagement. The White House, through a spokesperson. We're reviewing the situation. Political speak for, she's done. Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett's phone won't stop ringing. Interview requests, speaking invitations. Her campaign fund sees record donations. But in her office that night, she's not celebrating. She's already preparing for the next fight because she knows this isn't over. It's just beginning. What does this moment mean for America? Stay with us for the answer. This wasn't just about one politician's career-ending mistake. This wasn't just about one congresswoman's brilliant response. This was about something deeper, something that's been building for generations. For decades, the playbook worked. Coded language, dog whistles. Those people, real Americans, our country. Everyone knew what it meant, but it was deniable. Politicians could wink at their base while maintaining plausible deniability. But Pam Bondi said the quiet part loud, and Jasmine Crockett made sure the whole world heard it. There's a lesson here about respect, about understanding that America doesn't belong to anyone. It's not defined by who got here first or who looks a certain way. It's defined by who's willing to fight for its ideals, even when those ideals haven't been extended to them. Pam Bondi will probably recover. She'll retreat to friendly media, write a book, find a consulting gig, collect speaking fees from sympathetic audiences. But she'll never live this down. 5 minutes of truth revealed what years of political polish tried to hide. And Jasmine Crockett, she did what so many people wish they could do. She responded to disrespect not with anger, but with eloquence. Not with insults, but with history. Not by lowering herself, but by reminding everyone exactly how high she stands. In living rooms across America, families played that clip for their children. This, they said, is what it looks like to stand up with dignity. This is what it means to know your worth. So here's the question. What happens when your voice is needed? When you witness injustice, will you speak up or stay silent? Because moments like these don't happen by accident. They happen when people decide enough is enough. Pam Bondi learned that the hard way, and America watched a masterclass in dignity. What do you think? Was Jasmine Crockett's response justified? Should Bondi have resigned immediately? Let us know in the comments below. And if this story moved you, hit that subscribe button, because the fight for respect and truth is far from over.